Oh, I didn't see you there with your camera and your whole setup. How's it going, everybody? This is Travis from Dual Humor. Today I got for you TrapTrix. What happens when you combine plants, lilies, insects? Makes sense. We have TrapTrix, one of the most underrated rogue trap profiles that exists in Yu-Gi-Oh! Today. There's quite a few amazing cards out for this deck. Not a lot of people are using this, although I do see some people flexing it online. I think it is something to look into, especially if you're a rogue player. It's a whole lot of fun, and you have a lot of damage potential. So, let's get right into it.
Boral here. Oh, wrong video.
Boral here.
Alright.
That's nice. Alright, let's go. Come on, let me wet my whistle here. Sorry, I was disturbingly sober. Alright, let's get into the main deck here.
Okay.
Starting off, 3 TrapTrix Mantis. This is probably one of the better ones. This isn't your main play starter, but it is very great to see. You can search a TrapTrix monster upon its normal summon, and quick effect, you can bounce a set card and then set another one from your hand. You don't have to reveal it, so you can kind of recycle cards so they don't get banished. Now, this is your main player. TrapTrix Mermilio. When it's normal summon, you can add a trap hole card from your deck to your hand. So it's pretty great. We run quite a few, I think 5. So yeah, really great to start off with this. And if you have Brigandine, that's basically full combo. Next, Dionea, the other main TrapTrix monster. On normal summon, you can special one from the grave, so you can even special summon itself. None of these are hard ones per turn, so you can also run double summon if you so feel like. But yeah, I like playing it like this. These 9 and 10 Atrax. So Atrax is pretty great. It's there more so for a name. Also, it has pretty big body, 1800. But you can also activate trap hole cards from your hand. So it's pretty great in case you can actually trigger the TrapTrix Sarah effect, get this on field, and you could actually activate your Gravediggers from your hand for hand traps. It actually turns a Gravedigger into a Called by the Grave, which is kind of funny. But yeah, pretty great card. These are like our main players, just 10. Gives us a pretty good percentage for opening them. Next, Parallel Exceed. This is an Etco card that raises the ceiling of this deck considerably, especially with Gravedigger's Trap Hole. We now have a way to immediately out hand traps if we can make it a rank 4. Plus, this can also help us push for game if we need to make Battle Sword. Yeah, I just think it's a great card. Next,
Dude, you finally main deck that?
I finally have played this in a deck, and this card...
Finally. I converted him to the dark side, guys.
To what arguably might be the most useless hand trap of all time, but is a turn skip. For certain decks, they just cannot play through this. Exactly. Like, I don't even know if trains could really do much against this. You might be able to make your rank 10, but you know what I mean? You need your graveyard in a lot of decks. So yeah, really high impact kind of turn skip card, and has synergy in this deck, especially with Brigandine. We don't want traps in our graveyard, and albeit we can recycle trap cards with Dionea, and we will want to do that when we're playing, especially in the grind. Starting off with this can just immediately turn off a combo player's entire dreams of having that match be won. Next, Ash Blossom to complement those sad feelings. Now you can't even search off your draw cards.
And to make matters worse, he plays the feet version.
Yes. It even kind of smells like feet.
Oh, man.
But that's just Duov. Or is this Dude? I can't even remember. But basically, these are all of our monsters. Not a whole lot of hand traps. I think this is all you really need to run. Not running Impermanence either. I think that card actually doesn't have the synergy you would think it does in this deck. But yeah, these hand traps are pretty impactful. Could be worth running Nibiru, but I probably wouldn't main deck Nibiru on this deck. Still, 3 Ash. Then, yes, the Utopia Cheese, guys. Very nice. Yeah, double or nothing. Pretty self-explanatory. Just 2 desires. I think you really need the draw power in this deck, especially when it's kind of like falling short in that department. Like sometimes you can kind of run out of resources. Once your engine does get going, though, you will completely outgrind your opponent with this deck. You're literally +2, +3 every turn. But I just think that this is a great card to open with, or kind of follow up with top deck. You just immediately get 2, because it's kind of hard to brick, I guess, in a trap deck. Moving on. Actually, let me get these out of the way. onto the trap cards. We run 3 Shade Brigadine. You must run 3 of this. This is just like one of the best level 4 extenders. It also triggers our Sarah. You can normal summon a TrapTrix monster, activate this, trigger her effect, get another level 4, and there you go, you have a rank 4 with your Sarah. You could also, you know, potentially make a Redoer. I'm not running Redoer right now in my extra deck, but, you know, you can make Trap Redoer immediately. 3 Compulse. I actually took this out, and then I have put it back in. Yeah, I don't know. I'll take it out again if you give me money. 3 TrapTrix just accesses all of your good traps. I don't know, it's kind of hard to argue with, especially because we side deck the Artifact Engine. It just turns it into having 6 of that card, which is pretty busted. It's also a normal trap, so pretty great. You could cut it to 2, but you really want to see your traps, so I don't think it's worth it. Next, 3 Judgment. Unfortunately, I think this is a must-have in this deck, especially with like Lightning Storm, Dark Ruler No More, etc., etc., all these crazy blowout cards. You really, really need this, and at the tournaments that I've played this deck at, I got evenly matched game 2, like every single game, and my deck blessed me with this top deck in my opening hand, so I think this is like really, really incredible to run main decked in this deck. So yeah, 3 Judgment. Next, the Imperial Order. Yeah, we only run 3 spells, and we don't really care if we resolve them, so yeah, this is just a blowout card. Don't forget that you lose life points with this. Next, this is why we run Dimension Shifter. Treacherous Trap Hole. This basically turns our Rafflesia into just like a pop 2 monster effect. Also, since we can kind of recur this, with Dimension Shifter, it has synergy in being able to just kind of constantly come back and be a Destroy 2 card. So yeah, I think it's pretty useful, but you could kind of take it out if you wanted to run a 3rd Gravediggers, which I actually only run 2. These are my Euro copies. I think this card is absolutely sexy and makes this deck ceiling like way, way higher than what it used to be before. Now we kind of have like an in-deck out, and we've given pretty much every other deck a main deck out to, you know, Nibiru, hand traps, stuff like that. Yeah, I just think this card is like super, super good. Not only that, but it burns your opponent for 2,000, and since we can reset trap cards in this deck, you could easily play this card, you know, 8 times if you wanted to, if you had to. But yeah, those 2, and then finally the Bottomless for something in the extra deck, which I'll show you, and then just 1 Floodgate. Floodgate is just like such a good card. This might be worth running at 2, but just resolving this once against like Adamant Spade or other decks like that that need that initial play, you got it in the bag. So that's our 5 trap cards there. I believe I'm running. I think I'm running 18 trap cards, but yeah, pretty good lineup. I think one of the only flex ones is probably compulsory, but yeah, that's it for the main deck. Let me get into the extra deck. Alright, so we got our 3 TrapTrix Sarah. This is our link 1 that you can make with any TrapTrix monster. It's absolutely incredible. If you activate a normal trap card, you get to special a TrapTrix monster from your deck, and then if you activate a TrapTrix monster's effect, including both of your XYZs, you can set a trap hole from your deck. So I just think that effect is so broken, it's absolutely worth running 5. I think in a normal course of the game, if you've played this deck, especially if you have a lot of experience with it, you can actually burn through your trap hole cards pretty fast. You could go through 3 of them turn 1. It's actually kind of easy to do. So having those extra resources that you can grab to continue netting those pluses will just continually gain you advantage, and, you know, they're pretty good still, even though, you know, they might have been power cut by quite a few cards, but having 3 trap hole cards in your back row is hard to argue with, especially since you're going to be recurring them. Pentastag for the Utopia Cheese, Nightmare, Cerebus, it's a pretty good card. Nightmare Phoenix, also a pretty good card, and Akashic Magician. This is something that I actually got from Yassine. If you guys watch his channel on his TrapTrix profile, I really, really appreciated this card. I actually thought it made a lot of sense, especially if you get Diana out into your field. You can then summon this on your following turn and return the Diana to your hand to then normal summon it and get its effect. So I think that's pretty smart. But yeah, might be worth running. It also is kind of like a, you know, what am I thinking of? The new Relinquished card, Anima, yeah. And then Badassad, Bortle. So this card is like kind of what makes this deck win usually. Really easy to get into Boral Sword. Yeah, I think it's a really great card. Rafflesia, yeah, you gotta run 1 now. It's just too good. Then Abyss Dweller, Tornado Dragon, Allomeris. Now, so this is the new XYZ. I might actually cut this card. It's a little useless. It's kind of hard to explain, but you probably will never go into this. Like, you know, it could come up, is the thing of why I run it, is that if you have this in a bottomless, you could steal a Boral Sword, you could steal tons of different cards, but it only applies to that one Trap Hole card. So, I don't know, we're not about to run regular Trap Hole in 2020. I mean, it could work, but it's just not worth it. But yeah, so I think that this card is kind of like a flex. I'll probably end up taking it out. Then, the Utopia Double, Utopia the Lightning, and then our Japanese Prismatic Utopia. You need this package. I think it's like pretty necessary. The Lightning is there in case you know they do have effects that they're going to activate and you kind of want to circumvent them. Pretty smart, especially if your opponent is playing Sky Striker. It's also big body. So yeah, these are really great cards. I would say other than the Alameris, the extra deck should probably stay the way it should. You could run Dagda, but I have it in the side right now in case I do put in the Artifact Engine. So yeah, that's the TrapTrix profile.
Okay, man. So, Travis, any last things you want to tell the audience about this deck?
Yeah, this deck is good. Little lolly ladies. Whole lot of power in this deck. Trap cards are still good. Hey, who would have guessed? Don't listen to Team APS over there. Some people say trap cards aren't good. Trap cards are, like, amazing if you go first. But I would say going second, this deck still has quite a few plays, especially with Parallel Exceed, you know, Dimension Shifter. It's pretty easy to kind of like play through some stuff, but yeah, I think this deck just needs some more representation. You know, I love the Rogue, but yeah, this deck is just so much fun.
Duelist out here. And if you guys really love lollies and love dual humor, please hit the like button. Subscribe for more awesome content here.
Yes, because we got subscribe to this channel, I'll get a haircut finally.
Yes, man, and God knows he needs one. Okay. Anyway, Travis and Franco from Dual Humor out. Peace, guys.